5 things I love about Whitney. Oh man, do you have like an hour?
5 words that I would use to describe Tyler. Would definitely just be cute. I call him cute all the time.
She is so adorable. Every single time that I see her, I just want to, you're so cute.
Strong.
She's also super strong.
Sweet.
Just incredibly loving.
Funny and outgoing.
She is incredibly hardworking, and it's one of the things I absolutely love about her is she wants to work hard and accomplish goals.
So it's kind of funny, I actually Facebook friended him first, which is not like me at all. Because the first time I saw him, we were all playing video games, or I was watching him play video games at his roommate's apartment.
It's kind of funny because she was actually dating my roommate. And so at that time, like when I first saw her, it was just like, she's dating my roommate, she's cute, she seems super fun and lively. But it was just like off limits.
And I remember like he was super funny and like he had like a cute laugh, and I was like, oh, like he seems like cute and super sweet and fun, but I like kind of put the kibosh on it because I was like, no, like I'm dating his roommate, so that's weird.
Man, how Whitney and I got together is super interesting because she actually came and sold in the summer.
So during the summer, I was kind of nervous that I was going out there with like him and his roommate Eric, because they were roommates with the guy that I dated, and I was just like, oh, like this is gonna be weird, like they probably have like mixed emotions about me, like about who I am. During
that whole entire summer, I thought she was still dating him, and so I had this the entire summer just like I can't date her, I can't like flirt with her or anything, like she's super fun and like I like talking with her, but it can't go anywhere.
As the summer progressed, like I didn't really think much of anything, but on Sunday nights it was like our only night to kind of like relax, and so we would want to like watch a movie, and it would be like me and Tyler and his roommate Eric, and we didn't have a couch in the sales office where the big screen TV was, so they'd pull down their mattresses, and then we'd always like end up like laying on the mattress. For some reason it was always weird because I would always get closer to Tyler like on the mattress, and our arms would always be touching, but I was like, no, like it's nothing.
I still didn't think much of it. I was just like, she's fun to talk to, but like it's just, I just can't.
So by the end of the summer I was kind of like, okay, like he's cool, like I super like him, but I didn't really think much of it because I was just as good friends with his friend Eric.
Because we had become super good friends during the summer, she came over to our apartment here and there, because also with me and my roommate. And so we would laugh and do like little things together. We're super big Seahawks fans.
So I would go over there all the time, and we watch the Seahawks games on Sunday, and I'd go over and they got me a little addicted to the Jazz games, and so I just go over, and it seemed like every time like I went over there, like the more and more like we would just like sit closer, or we would like cuddle, or something would happen, and I was like, okay, like does he like me?
At that time I was like, you know, it's been long enough, I think it's totally okay.
That definitely kind of sparked something, and then after a while of like kind of hanging out, like it was kind of obvious we both liked each other.
Our first date, you know, we were trying to figure that out as well. Like, we don't really know. But we actually, I think the first date was the day that we actually kissed, just because we had known each other for so long. So it was super funny because I knew that I wanted to ask her out, and we had like cuddled at this point and like done so much already. And it was like, because it was such an up and down roller coaster of am I supposed to ask her out or not, that it was finally just like, okay, like I'm gonna make this official, I'm just gonna go on a date with you. And
I was like, yeah, like let's do it. But I like inside I was like kind of panicking, because whenever anybody kind of calls something a date, I get really nervous.
There's been several times already before that I was like, I wanted to kiss her.
There were certain times that I was like, I think he's gonna kiss me, but it just never happened. So we finally went on our first date.
We had planned to go bowling, And so we went there, and it was actually, in order to get like a better deal and more bang for our buck, we had to wait like a half hour, like 40 minutes. So I was like, it's kind of what I had planned. So instead we drove down a little bit. We were kind of just driving around, and then I found this spot, like just a cool walkway that I had been to like once before. I was like, oh, yeah, let's just go on for a walk.
And we had taken a walk around like the river woods.
We're walking back behind this path, and I'm super nervous because I'm like, I kind of want to kiss her. I kind of want to kiss her.
And so we kept going on this walk, and then nothing happened. And I was like, okay, like whatever, like, but I was just nervous inside because I was kind of anticipating it.
She was giving me all the signs.
It was kind of like secluded, and it was dark, and I was like, okay, well, if he wanted to kiss me, like this is kind of his opportunity to, like, no one's around or whatever.
And so I like hold her, and my heart's just pounding, and I'm like going to, and then I back out, like, okay, I'm too scared to, and I don't do it.
So then we got back in his car.
I get back in the car, and I'm just like, this is ridiculous, don't kiss her.
And I just remember we were like talking, and I think I looked away, and then like the next second I looked away, like I swear his like hands grabbed my face, and I was like kissing him, and I was like, oh dang, like that just happened. Like, okay. And it was good, like it wasn't just like a peck, like we kissed, which was kind of fun.
So I just lean over and I kiss her, and it was amazing.
Afterward, I get super embarrassed so easily that I just didn't say anything, but I was smiling, and he's like, I kissed Whitney, like, and I just like turned super red and just blushed, and it was adorable, and it was super cute, and like it wasn't an awkward first kiss, which I was relieved about. And then after that we went bowling, and I remember like after we bowled, like he said something like, are we ever gonna, and then I went and kissed him, and he's like, okay, good. Like he was like, are we ever gonna kiss again?
She's super good about laughing at my dumb jokes, which I super love.
So Tyler said he loved me first, which, well, he was a good boy, because he for sure knew I was not gonna say it first. I'm not putting myself out there like that.
I had actually planned a big event for the day that I was gonna say I love her, because I knew for a while, but I knew that she was gonna go away for Christmas vacation. So, and her birthday is December 23rd. And so before she went, I was gonna do something for her birthday, and I was like, you know, it'd be cool to do something special and then tell her I love her. And so I knew for a couple weeks, and almost slipped several times saying I love you, like, okay, bye, I love you. And I'm like, no, I want to save it for this special day.
But it was actually the night that he had a surprise for my birthday.
I go pick her up. She's coming out, like, oh, hey, like, she gets in the car, and we rush over to Thanksgiving Point. And I go and like park by the movie theater, and then we start walking. And we walk to this little pavilion, and I see a horse and carriage over there. I was like, that's what we're gonna do. I didn't say that, but I was super happy about it. She's like, what's going on? So I go, and I talked to him and set up, hey, we have an appointment for this horse and carriage. And she's just, I look over at her, and she's like, what? And then we walk out, and she's like, are we really doing that? We gonna go in there and see the lights and everything? And I'm so excited, this is actually on my bucket list. And it was super cute. I was just like, oh. I had no idea that it was on her bucket list, and that she super wanted to, so 10 points for me. I scored big there.
And then after that, like, I thought that was the date, because I was like, this is amazing. Like, I never thought anything like that would happen. But then he like drove around and kept driving, and then eventually he got to like this empty parking lot that was kind of elevated to overlook the city, and I was like, okay, like what are we doing here? And
I go and I park the car and just look over at her and just, you ready to make out now? I'm just kidding.
And so he like rolls down the windows, and it's super cold outside. I was like, what are you doing? And so then he turns on music, and it was my favorite song, which was A Cold December Night by Michael Bublé.
And I'm like, okay, let's get out. And I start playing it, and I get out of the car, and she's like, wait, are we getting out right here? It's just a random abandoned parking lot.
And he's like, we're gonna have a dance, which is super cool. And so, and I was kind of nervous because I don't dance, but I was like, whatever, this is so cute, it'll be good. And so I ended up saying like, oh my gosh, like you're so sweet, like thank you so much for doing all this for me. And he was like, well, I do love ya. But my head was dug into his shoulder, and I was like, did he just say what I thought he said?
And she's just like, she like didn't move for a second, and I'm like trying to dance or trying to sway or something.
And so then like I kind of like pulled myself out and looked at him, and he's like, Whitney, I love you. And I was like, I love you too. And Like, it was just amazing, and it was super funny because I kept digging my head into his chest because my eyes started watering because I was just like, I can't believe he said it, like, this is awesome. Anyway, so it was super cute. I loved it.
So for the proposal, I actually did a week-long thing, kind of thing. I wanted her to have fun telling the story, so I wanted to make it significant, and I kind of had to beat the way that I told her I love her. She's like, you're not gonna beat this, so I kind of had to, I raised the bar.
I knew that we were gonna get married, like we had talked about marriage, so I wasn't not anticipating it, but Tyler's so sneaky.
I had this idea of this entire week I'll sneak pictures of her as we're doing these dates.
Tuesday we ended up going to Nickel Cade, which was super fun. That was one of our first dates that we went on.
As she's like doing skee ball, as she's throwing the football at the football game, like I'm sneaking pictures of her, like doing the little selfie thing, like, ah, it's the week of, and like I'm so excited about it.
And then Wednesday we went to this disc golf course, and that night I was like caught off guard because he wanted to go super bad, and I was like, okay, well, we're not even gonna go play disc golf, but I guess he wants to walk around the course. And there was like this like castle area, so we walked up all these stairs, and then it's just like this empty like little pavilion area, and I was just like, okay, is something happening? I don't even know. And then after that, nothing happened, and I was like, okay.
And I took pictures of her sneaking in there.
And Thursday we went to the mall, which was super fun.
I was super excited about this because as we go to the mall, we're walking by all of these jewelry stores, and I like am constantly making her think of rings, and like we're gonna go ring shopping, and she had no idea that I had the ring at this point for almost 2 weeks.
He's so sneaky. I was like, dang him. So I mean, there's like at least 4 or 5 jewelry stores at University Mall. So I was just like, okay, like, because in the back of my mind, like I played scenarios, but I never like said anything out loud. But I was like, maybe he's gonna take me and be like, go pick out your ring, and you know. And so we kept walking by them, and I tried not to make eye contact with him because I didn't want him thinking I was trying to like hint in any way. And at one point he like pulled me aside to like this one jewelry store.
What, 50% off? Oh dang, that's nice.
And I was like, okay, cool, like let's go, like let's just get out of here.
I was having so much fun about it.
He's trying to be a punk.
I love it when she says that.
Friday was the night that he super tricked me, like way bad. So he had told me, I think on Tuesday night, he was like, Whitney, I have a very important question to ask you. And I was like, ha ha ha. He's like, will you go on a date with me on Friday? And I was like, okay, yeah.
Just to like get her thinking.
But I was kind of like, you little punk, like you tried to trick me.
So then Friday comes, and I had actually planned and reserved, because we're getting married in the Salt Lake Temple, so I wanted to go to a super nice restaurant overlooking it at the roof.
Friday rolls around, and I get ready, but he didn't say what time or anything, so I'm just kind of taking my sweet time getting ready, and he was like, I'm getting all pretty for you, like texting me, and I was like, oh, like I'm so excited.
I wanted it to seem like it was gonna be that night.
And then finally, like at like 6:30, he's like, are you done yet? Like I'm coming to get you.
She had like 2 hours to get ready.
And I was like, okay, like shoot, like you didn't tell me what time.
I don't know what she was doing.
Because I kind of thought it was too cliche for him to ask me on a big date and then propose, but I didn't know. But then we ended up going from the parking garage, and I saw the sign for Joseph Smith Memorial Building, and I was like, oh shoot, like that's awesome. So then we like walk in there, and then like he takes me up to the roof, which is like this fancy restaurant, and like me being like naive and not knowing anything about Salt Lake, like I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, like so pretty.
With both of us, I had never been there either. Just, whoa, look at this view. And I made sure we had a table right by the window so we can overlook the Salt Lake Temple.
And so we ate there, and it was cute because we both didn't know a lot of the food that was there because it was super fancy, and we're not fancy.
That entire night, my goal was to like make her think like it was gonna happen that night.
And then it was funny because a couple behind us got proposed.
She's like telling a story, and I'm like, Whitney, look. And right behind her, there's this guy get down on his knee proposing right behind her. It's like, yes.
Oh, cool, like that's awesome. Like, what's it gonna happen for me?
Another thing to get her thinking about marriage.
Honestly, like after the date on Friday at the roof, I was like, he's trying to trick me. Like I knew he was trying to trick me.
We had actually walked and gone into like this different spot in the outside the restaurant that overlooks the city, and I kind of like sat her down, and telling her how much I love her, and then just like get up and leave.
Saturday morning, we went to the bridal fair with his sister. And then that night we went to Provo Beach.
We wanted to go to Provo Beach weeks ago, and I pushed it back to this day because it was in that parking lot where we had our first kiss.
But then after that, I was like, there's no way he's gonna propose on Sunday because like, he doesn't have the ring. Like I know he doesn't have the ring. And I definitely did not pick up that we were doing all of our first dates that week. Like, no idea at all. I was totally, didn't get it at all.
So it's the day of, and I wake up and I'm pretty nervous.
So it happened on Sunday, and usually like, I'll text him a little bit Sunday, but not a lot, just because we're both at church and we try not to text during church or whatever. But it was weird because like I hadn't heard from him at all, and it was like 3 o'clock, so I just took my Sunday nap and I was like, whatever, like I'm sure I'll hear from him. I
sent a Snapchat over, and I wanted her to see that I was kind of in a nicer shirt, because I know her, like, oh, he's in a nicer shirt, I'm gonna have to dress up. And
we had made plans to watch Despicable Me that night, so I knew we were gonna like watch a movie. So then he texted me back like an hour and a half later, and he's like, hey, I'm home. And I was like, sweet. So like I book it over there because like I just wanted to hang out with him, and I go over there, and he looked like, when I got there, he just like looked super tired. And I was like, did you not take a nap today? Like, do you need to take a nap? Like, you can go to sleep and I'll just like watch a show or something. And he's like, no, I'm good. And I was like, okay, are we gonna watch the movie? And he's like, yeah, let me get Eric, his roommate. So
he made an excuse. Hey, I gotta write my missionary just real quick. Like, give me like 30, 40 minutes. I'll just write a letter so that I can just get it done and be at peace, and then we can watch the movie. And I was like, oh, come on, Eric, just watch it with us. But this is the whole plan the whole time.
And I was like, no, like, babe, like, let him write his letter so we can watch the movie in peace and he can have peace of mind.
We had planned for him to set up everything.
Eric's like, can you guys go check the mailbox? I think that my missionary wrote me, but I just want to try to, I'm in the zone, so I'm going to keep writing.
And I turned to her like, do you want to go to the mailbox? She's like, yeah, okay. So we go to the mailbox, and I had already planned that there was going to be nothing in the mailbox that day. I had taken everything out. So we go to the mailbox, nothing's in there, put the key in my pocket, and it was nice because as we were walking there, she's like, oh, it's kind of nice to go on a walk. I was like, yes, that's what I wanted.
And then we go down this road where this park that we met at when we hadn't seen each other for 3 weeks.
It was actually just down this street, and our goal was to come here.
I knew it was like down this road, and I was like, isn't this like the road where the park is?
After you went to Disney World, and after that 3 weeks, I was like, oh yeah, it is.
And I was like, okay, sweet. And so we keep walking down there.
Nobody's here, it's just dark, and there's some creeks around here, and she's like, this is where they hide the bodies. I'm like, oh gosh, yeah, this is romantic.
Because it was super dark, and like it was like a creepy little water area.
Then we swing on the swings, and I wasn't really saying a whole lot because I was so busy that I hadn't had time to like think of like what I was gonna really say.
Then he's like, let's just keep walking, and I was like, okay, sounds good.
So then we get off the swings and we start walking towards this pavilion or the bridge, and I'm like, okay, which way do you want to go, bridge or pavilion?
And I was like, oh, let's bridge it up. And he's like, hey, let's go to the pavilion. And I was like, okay, like whatever, like maybe you just want to sit down, which is cool.
I wanted her to see this iPad sitting on the table, but it was kind of hidden, or sitting on the bench, and it was kind of hidden.
We walk up there, and Tyler goes to the corner and sees something.
And I kind of looked down, well, what is this iPad? At that same moment, she had looked back.
I look in the corner, I see like a light, and I'm like, babe, like what is this? And he kind of grabs me really fast.
And she's like, what's this light over here? And I'm like, no. And so, what's this iPad? And I pull her and open it up.
And it was an iPad, and I was like, what the heck? Like, this is weird, like this is creepy. And then it said, please press play. And I was like, babe, this is creepy, like what is this?
So we press play, and it's this just quick shots, quick pictures of our entire week. And
then all of a sudden, like just like tons of pictures of like me and him like were popping up, and I was just like, what in the world is going on? And I was like super taken aback, like didn't know what to expect at all.
And I wanted to be saying something during that, but I was so nervous, so I had to say it after.
And I just like looked at him and I just hugged him. I was like, you're so sweet. And he was just like, no matter what we're doing, if we're at like Nickelcade or if we're just shopping at the mall or if we're at Provo Beach, like I don't care where we are, like wherever we are, like I always love you.
I always want to be with you, and I love you so much and want to be with you for always.
He had hidden the ring up in the rafter, so he stepped up and grabbed the box, and then he like got down on his knee, and I don't super remember because I think I was shaking and so out of it.
And I say, Whitney, it was right over there after we hadn't seen each other for 3 weeks, as we met at this park, as I was hugging you. It was in that hug and in that embrace where I knew that I was going to marry you and that I absolutely love you and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. And I get down on one knee and ask her to marry me, and she was just like, yes.
Will you marry me? And I just said yes. I tried to think of something witty to say, but nothing came to mind.
I jump up and I hug her, and I remember we tried to kiss, but we were just smiling too much. We just hugged each other.
And then after that, he surprised me. He reached behind the pavilion and he grabbed his laptop and he's like, I knew that there were going to be so many things that I wanted to say to you, but I was too nervous and I couldn't remember them, that I wanted to make a slideshow for you. After each picture, he would stop it and tell me like a reason, like why he loved that picture, why he loved me, or why he loved us together, which was super cool. And I was just like, I didn't bawl, but I cried.
And I got her to cry. I was so happy about that.
So I got kind of emotional, and it was cute because I could hear his voice crack sometimes, which was really cute.
It was a tender moment.
I'm excited to marry Tyler because he is my best friend. As cliche as it sounds, I've never met someone that I completely just like am so carefree with him, and I am completely myself, and being able to know that I can be with this person for eternity is the most amazing feeling in the world. And having like my best friend with me for time and all eternity is something that I could never like even imagine, and I'm so grateful for him, and he's just so amazing to me and just the sweetest guy ever.
I'm excited to marry Whitney because, man, I have fun with her. She just makes me laugh so much, but she's also very driven, and I can accomplish a lot with her, and we just mesh so well that I have just come to realize I can't be happier than when I'm with her. I just am in so much peace and joy, and like I just love her so much that I can't not be with her. I'm so excited to marry her.
It's a good time, it's a real good time, it's a real good time, it's a real good time.